I'm Kat, an independent midwife from Wales. Welcome to the Mother of All podcasts, where nothing is off the table of discussion. If it leaks, cries, swears, screams, goes up, but doesn't stay up, we're talking about it. It's time to get raw and real. Your no BS guide to pregnancy, preconception, birth, adolescence, wet dreams, wet in the bed, coming home pissed. Who knows? Whatever. We're just going to talk about it. Life in parenting doesn't come with a manual. Well, not a decent one anyway. So let's just create a podcast. Welcome to the Mother of All podcasts. I don't even know where that come from.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
That's not even in it.
That's good.
Welcome to Mother of All podcasts. This is Kay like me. And I'm just going to let her introduce herself and tell you all how we know each other. Over to you.
Hi. So I'm Kayla, called Kay. So we met because I was desperately looking for an IM, and you popped up, and you were my solution, or our solution, shall I say, to the I wouldn't call it the mess that we were in, but yeah, the mess of the system and the birth that we really needed, and you were our savior. Which
Oh,
I know you're going to say you're not, like
yeah, no,
it's
totally.
all down to the mother, but yeah, no, you are, yeah, you basically were. And I think we met, what was it, week 37,
7.
was it? God, it's mad,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I think, I think it was because you sent me, I was actually here in the studio because I
Oh yeah, you were doing your,
sent you a voice note saying, I'm just about to go into a recording, but don't panic, I can text you. So basically, we've got an independent midwife WhatsApp group, and someone had put an SOS saying, does anyone want to help this mum who has got a baby that's decided to be born with his arse first?
yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to say no. There's absolutely no way I'm going to say no. So don't even think of saying no. So I sent her a voice note, and here we are. So basically a breech birth. Obviously at that point, I think initially you were like, obviously we're still hoping the baby will turn, and we tried Walter's maneuver. We did loads of peanut ball exercises, spinning babies
Yeah.
and stuff. And then,
Hypnotherapy session.
yeah,
Yeah, did that one. Yeah.
mention that for me because there's a lot of ladies,
Yeah.
because I didn't know that you could do a hypno for breech. So can you just mention that?
Yeah, so obviously I learned from my course there's about an 80% success rate, which is a lot more than an ECV. And I remember our conversations like, why not try other things like bouncing on a ball than an ECV? And that was on it. And it was with a guy called Archie McIntyre. He's just a legend. He's like, was he turned 80? I think he turned 85 like a
Brilliant.
couple of weeks ago, and it was I don't remember because obviously he got sent me to sleep. But a lot of it was just that um what do you call, when they put you into hypnosis, and it was over the phone. I had earphones in, got myself ready for bed, and it's they sort of get into, is it the delta waves? I can't remember, like the next level of waves, and then it basically to talking to your, what do you call it? I forgot that word. Not your,
You said,
not like your subconscious. That's it. Like the deeper level,
yeah.
and then the messages get ingrained, and then obviously you then basically tell him, baby, if you'd like to move, please move. But I actually don't know what he said. And you can have a couple of sessions, and yeah, a lot of people have said it's good, and it works for them. And again, like I said, it was just like it's no pain. And I did try it, but obviously baby, as we know, baby stayed bummed down.
I don't think he was ever going to turn.
No, no.
Yes,
Definitely made this like
where you
the
wanted.
story, isn't it? He
Exactly.
was just like, no, this is what's gonna happen. This is how it's gonna stay.
So just for context, an ECV is basically if you've got a baby who's in the breech position or say oblique or transverse or unstable, it's where they try to manually turn the baby with a qualified practitioner, normally an obstetrician, I don't know any midwives who are qualified in it, but that doesn't mean there are not. They manually try to turn the baby in the uterus from outside the womb. That's what it is. It's got a 50% success rate. So you're literally gambling 50-50. And Kay, yeah, you were never going to have that.
No, I debated it like for like maybe a day. We thought let's just think about it. Like let's look at all the risks and things like that. For us, we got kind of got put off because not only like 50% rate, but there's other things like we said you could do. But even if it's not, baby could turn back and you just put in a lot of pressure, like a lot of stress for baby, which didn't seem appealing. And I think is it a 1 in 200 or something like that of then you following on to a C-section within a day later. So I thought, no, I'd rather baby stay breech than like gamble with that.
And
Yeah.
it's a choice and you made it. That's it.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
basically it in a nutshell. And I think obviously you had a really horrible appointment. That was the same day, wasn't it?
That was yeah, so that was yeah, I went in for an ECV thinking I'm not gonna take the ECV, but let's see what they say on the scan.
Yeah,
And the scan, yeah, did confirm obviously baby was still bummed down. He did a little bit of a flip. Do you remember like 11 to 1?
yeah,
Probably just because I was just chilling there anyway on the hospital berth, just bed, just waiting for them. And then yeah, and then that's when we had the horrible. I don't like slagging them because I'm sure they're under severe pressure and probably are not their true selves. That's what I like to think.
yeah.
But yeah, but he was a bit of an a-hole, as we know,
Yeah,
and
using
yeah, just
scary
scared.
words.
Yeah, tried to just scare. Well, I don't know if it was intentional. Like we've had like this conversation, isn't it? Like why can they just not be like balanced with information? But he was just not balanced whatsoever, and we knew better. So it kind of, on one hand, it was just funny, just trying to extract whatever we could out, like information out of them. Because I remember you saying, see if you could find out where legs are, where this and that. So it's just trying to get any information that we could. But you just can't help but hear what they're saying, and what they're saying is just trying to freak the shit out of you, basically.
You are, and when you're in, I mean, we've spoke about this, and I have mentioned it on quite a few podcasts, if not all of them, if they're birth related. It's really you go in with your coat of armor on, and I do too, by the way. It's not just it's taken. Ooh, I got goose pimples thinking about it. You become a different person the minute you enter those doors.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, you've got an amazing partner who's so supportive, and I've said this, you're so aligned, you two. It's there's definitely no question that you're both on the same page.
yeah,
That from our first Zoom. So there was no like he wasn't, because I get a lot of dads who not question me, rightly so, ask me questions, and I can see it's their own unease, and it's like,
yeah,
I don't answer this right, that woman's not going to get her home birth. Like,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I didn't feel like that with Kia
No,
at
he.
all.
I think like the difference as well that he's been on this like journey with me like for sure. Like he like made the effort to like learn it all and made the effort to do the course. Like after us like when we were doing the course on the second birth, second pregnancy, like he was up for it. Like after a little bit maybe like yeah a little bit of like do I have to? But then when he did it, he was just oh my God, this is such an eye opener. Like. And then that was it. Yeah, it's transformed.
But even like, so you're going into an appointment where you've got a really supportive partner, and you're both going in, and you're like, no, we know what we want. It's so different in that environment. It's the lights, it's the
Yeah,
telly, it's the amount of people that are coming in, and
yeah,
it's really hard. So we spoke on
yeah.
the phone when you left, and I always explain it as if like trying to get someone back down from the ceiling and
Hmm.
into the reason why you're doing all of this. But I haven't told you both this. So it was, when we were in an hour in back and forth about having another scan, and you were like, will it make a difference to you? And I was like, oh, it'd be really good to know where the feet are and things like that. And then I totally didn't give a shit anymore. But I was
Absolutely.
nervy. I was like, not nervous to come out and support your birth at all, but that even me, that plant of a seed of the
Yeah,
put there. And it's
Yeah.
never like, but it's not about the foot, it's about the bum and what prominence is coming first.
Yeah.
For me, I was like, oh, I don't think I'd go if there was a foot there.
Yeah.
I can tell you, obviously. And then I'm thinking, it might be there one
Why?
minute and not,
Yeah.
let's not have another scan, which,
Yeah.
um, but that was probably that whole conversation that you
Yeah.
parted to me, that how it felt for you.
Yeah.
And then I'm sat in the car thinking, well, yeah, if there is a foot there or if there's 2 feet there, and I'm like, oh my God, cat, stop.
Yeah, it's you like even if you know better or even if you know something, it's like you said, it's that seed is plant and like it's that chimp brain thing, like and it just plays on your brain and it's just like and you try rationalize it yourself and you try to um just make sure that you're still making the right decisions
Yeah,
because somebody else has said something. And that's why it's just so important what people say, and
it,
especially in the last few weeks of birth, isn't it?
oh, it can, well, it didn't flip your baby, but it can flip your mindset.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then obviously when I remember coming out and we had an antenatal appointment and the three of us, I was like, I kind of want it to turn now anyway.
I know. Yeah.
Like, no,
And I love that though. I absolutely love that. Like because like I remember when I went in for the appointment and we were like, yeah, sure, let's just I was making my plan, whatever would have been my plan F to in case there's a breach, what do we do? Because like my first one was breach. And I was just like, I already knew by then the maternity system weren't really supportive. So what do we do? And I still think like it was partly like me thinking about it that made him turn potentially. But then obviously had that appointment. I raised it with a midwife and the obstetrician, and they said, well, let's just have a scan. We'll see. Baby was totally head down at that point.
yeah,
And then obviously, as you know, like turned up, got the scan, and then nope. I had suspicion. I was just like, something's going on. And then obviously I knew that baby had turned. And she told me, and I just kind of, at that point, I just laughed. I was like, of course, baby turned. Just gonna give me more to do. And I wasn't freaked out, but just because at that point, I knew what I knew. And I was just like, it's just fine. Baby might turn, or if not, it's a normal, but it's just the to-do list of knowing that you're not going to be supported
yeah.
fully. So then like meeting you and then when you came and that's what you said, like that energy, like to just be like, yeah, I'm positive about this, whatever. That is literally all like that's all we needed. That's all we needed to hear. And whatever the outcome was, which obviously he did stay bummed down, it was going to be like it was you're going to be surrounded by people who are like pro it, who are fine with it.
Yeah,
Even if it's an element of nerves, because it's not like you see this every week or every month, so you
every
can't be
year. Like,
super confident. Yeah, but it's still like as a collective, it's like, yeah, you got this. We've all got this. It's
I
gonna
think
be fine.
it works both ways because as you know, I had another lady whose baby wasn't playing ball and I didn't feel I could support that home birth. So it works both ways. And going back to you and as a partnership, you two were both on board and there wasn't you didn't really ask many questions, believe it
Did
or not.
you know?
No,
Really?
you thought that you did. So I'm like, well, if they
Yeah.
haven't got any questions to ask, they're
Yeah.
well read, they're on board, and they don't want this baby to fucking turn either.
Yeah. We were fine with it by then. Yeah.
Context. Kay's first birth was classed as an emergency C-section.
Yeah.
That you found out in labour. How many horrible words, centimeters dilated were you when you found out? Do you know?
Oh, well, I think I was about 5. I also heard that the obstetrician also told us baby will start coming within an hour. Who knows what was true or not now.
Yeah. So
But I like knowing my labors and how I was, I know I was definitely quite far into it. Yeah. So I probably would have been only a few hours away if I'd been left alone
yeah.
rather than, yeah, told it was an emergency C-section.
And again, you're just going to go along with it at that point. And then
Yeah, I didn't know better.
was a successful HBAC at home, a home birth after cesarean.
Yeah.
So there was absolutely no way this one was going to go down the lines of I'm just going to have a baby and pop it out because you don't birth that way. Birth birth's not easy. You birth textbook. That's so it's just the leading up to it and getting
Yeah,
to that birth space. Once you're in it and you've got everything aligned, there's not really much that people need to do for you. You birth.
just birth.
Well, fine art.
That's good to know. In case we go for the fourth.
Well, I didn't say it. I remember.
Oh yeah, five.
So I'm going to hand it over to you now. I want you to talk to me about I might ask you a few questions, but
Yeah, go for it.
it's your story to tell. Talk to me about like the lead up to your birth and then like the birth basically. Like when you called me and how you felt a few days before and things like that.
So the lead up, like how far? Like do you reckon like like the
It was
last couple
very,
of
yeah, it
weeks?
was very soft. So we
Mm.
booked me,
Yeah,
got your birth team together. You've decided no more, including the hospital kind of thing. Just going to get into your birth brain, trust your instinct,
yeah,
and go with it. Kind of
yeah,
decided to stop doing exercises to move the baby.
yeah.
That was about 38 weeks, wasn't it?
Yeah, that would have been about 38. Because I think, well, at that point, I'd I think I'd already finished work by then,
Yeah.
and we had everything was in the loft, nothing was washed. Baby would have had no nappies. The oldest one would have been starting school. Like the to-do list was like just ginormous. That I felt like that would have caused me more stress if baby came than if baby then to turn baby. And I was thinking, like, the exercises you got, like, you do need to like commit to it, like in an, because they do take a good half hour, hour.
Yeah.
And you want to do it like, yeah, you want to do it like gently. You don't want to be like so regimented. You want to do it, you want to enjoy it. And I was like, with two other little toddlers, all this to do, it's hard to, I need to either just do that or do all the other things that are stressing us out. So at that point, we sort of like had a conversation and I said to Kieran, I was just like, are you happy for me to like not put all my effort into that and actually to the other things that are actually taking up brain space? And he said, yeah, like I'm fine with it. So we kind of then just did life, got ourselves ready, enjoyed the kids, and just like let it be, like let this baby decide to stay breech if he wanted to. Obviously, we didn't know if it was a he at that point, did we? But we let him, yeah, stay breech. Or head, whatever. We were like the whole baby knows best. That was like our mantra.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were just sort of like just enjoying it and kept thinking there was a few times that we were thinking, could this be it? Could that not be it? Because the Braxton Hicks would definitely turn in like contractions style, but just mild and not like nothing, no rhythm as such. And then they'll just sort of like go, and then a couple more days, and I always sort of think that it was. I wonder if it was my brain as well, just holding that back. Like, I wanted to make it to the Paddington movie. And then at one point you just had like everybody needing you. So I was like, I need to wait for Cat.
Brains.
Baby, you gotta wait. And then eventually like D-Day actually came and I was surprised at the like when it happened in that to one degree because I didn't go to bed thinking it's gonna be tomorrow, even though as you know I'd got my birth outfit ready, funnily enough, and my
Subconscious
little
brain.
yeah, exactly. And I got my little list ready of like what to do, like kind of getting race ready. But it was just like simple stuff, like to ground me, knowing that how my contractions sort of like tend to just pick up and you could just get scattered, can't you? So I was like, brush my teeth, like do my hair, do my makeup, whatever, like was, just stay calm and makes time go past as well, rather than you really focusing on like the last part, just
Yeah.
keeps you like in the moment, doesn't it? I have my glass of milk, message Cat, message my mum, things like that. So then that came. So now we're on D. That was the night before, and then I think I had what did you used to call him like this wait and watch or something like that. If something changes,
Yeah.
yeah, in the middle of the night, but I felt baby and I couldn't really tell what position baby was in. Well, as in like head up, but I'm not sure where.
Yeah.
But then nothing, it didn't turn into anything. Back to sleep I go. And then about just before 5 a.m., I definitely felt it was like a foot, like a kick, and Hollywood style gush water, which I've never had before either. I only ever had a trickle with the first. With the second one, I'm not sure where my waters went. But yeah, I had the whole full-on gush, and I was just like, Karen, 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 like trying to be a little bit quiet, not to wake the kids up. And he obviously was having a dream of
That
he used to be an
water.
ex-plumber
That's
fixing pipes.
how aligned you are. That's I'm glad you
Hilarious,
answered
wasn't
that.
it?
I was like gonna
Yeah,
and say,
yeah.
yeah, that is how aligned you are. So he's dreaming about water and your water.
Sure. Yeah, literally. And first of all, he thought because I was getting the odd cramp, and he thought it was that, and I was like, no, no, my waters. So I'd say that was probably the only time I panicked because then we sneak out the bedroom just because, as you know, our other two kids are in there. And then we kind of like quiet. And at that point, that's when I had the consultant like meeting in my head. Yeah, cord prolapse. What could this happen? I was like, I remember being on my fours looking. I'm like, okay, I don't see a cord, don't know what to do, don't know what to do with water. Like, like water's breaking so much, no contractions. Let's call Kat. So we called you, didn't we? I remember, like, I'm being quiet. Don't want to wake the kids up.
No. Well, you texted me first and you said, can't ring right now, but my waters have gone and I don't get text notifications, as you know.
Yeah.
Then you rang me and you were like,
And then I
no
called.
cord.
Yeah, yeah. No
Beth
cord.
said, there's no cord. I was like, bro, I'll make
Yeah.
coffee, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and then I think I rem that one that bit was that made me laugh as well because I could feel the adrenaline like because I was just cold and I think it was just that I just had to recalm my brain and I remember yeah so I remember thinking no cords no contractions and I remember saying to you and I really need a poo now.
I need a poo. What should I do? I was like, what would you
What
normally
do you
do?
do normally? Yeah.
Poo.
I was just like, yeah, yeah, sure. Like I think that just like really like brought me back to earth as well. So then I obviously handed the phone over and then yeah, your advice was just like just it could be you could yeah, back to bed. It could be a while and I think I knew that, but I just at a moment of time it was just like and then we just sort of, as you know, we've been like trying to do our meditations and we just had a few breaths, like, right, okay, let's just regroup, let's just do the bed sheets, let's get back to bed. But before you know it, the contractions started anyway.
Quite
So
quick.
we were like, yeah,
We'd had a lot of conversations building up to, as I do with most of my families, because one of their biggest questions, they hit 36 weeks. And even though the dates don't matter, it's like, when do we call you? They all,
yeah,
the dads normally ask me. And I mean, he spoke about this after because he was like, once he'd called me and he knew I was on my way, he ticked his list and
massively.
he then enjoyed the moment.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, so it's like, and I said to you, this baby's breech. You need to ring me for any changes anyway.
yeah,
And I always thought, oh, the minute she rings me, I'm going, even if she's not contracting. But again, this is vibes, isn't it? I was like, it's just, I
yeah,
don't need to go. She's not contracting. This is normal. They can still spend time on their own. And
yeah.
exactly the same advice as I'd give a lady with a head down baby. I said, eat and sleep. I did
Just
that.
that.
Yeah.
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 It's funny, isn't it? It's just like you kept saying so many times, it's like, would you still do this if baby was head down? Would you still think this? And it was a good way like of like sort of really like checking in because it's true, you might not. And sometimes you might make a different decision as well because of it, and that's fine. But it's just making, yeah, it's kind of like just bringing yourself back to earth because it is just so normal. Like this is the thing, isn't it? Like we know what he was born like, and we've seen like all the videos, and there's no way that all these babies in the womb had a conference to be like, let's get born like this. They all get born pretty much exactly the same. So it's like we know it, but it's just you just don't see it. Like well, obviously you wouldn't see it every week. I don't, it's only my third birth. I don't give birth every week to just be so confident in it. So there's still an element of like, okay, but yeah.
But that, like that statement where I was saying to you, would you do the same if it was head down? Would you be asking me this question? That was my mantra as well.
Yeah, okay. To
That,
yourself.
was I
Yeah.
thinking this if there was a hand there? No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ladies birth a hand.
Yeah.
I'd be thinking, so yeah. So it
It's
was the
funny, isn't it?
same back and forth. And then quite quickly, your contractions, your surges started coming.
Yeah.
we were just WhatsApping back and forth then.
Yeah.
And you weren't WhatsApping me.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to pack my van
Yeah.
because I knew
Oh, is that why? Yeah.
she sent me a WhatsApp saying, just so you've got my number. I was like, yeah, she's definitely
Yeah.
got it.
I
And then
did.
I think we started WhatsApping again and you said you're good to come now.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I was like, I timed it a couple of times, but I just knew like my little reel. So I had my reel of like, more my visualizations, their hot air balloon, the kids blowing bubbles, all the up sort of thinking.
Yeah.
And I know how long it takes to get through like my whole reel, which is like roughly about a minute, and my breaths. And I knew I wasn't hitting it, but I knew there was just getting longer and longer and longer. And I was like, yeah. And you just, even without timing it, you know that they're starting to come more frequently as well, because you're just sort of stopping and starting. But yeah, and then I gets to the point where I have to just like, I
Zone.
can't do anything else. Yeah.
So I made my way. Um, and yeah, well, I remember walking in when I got to you because I'm always like rechecking with myself. I'd called the second midwife, so she was on her way. And I remember walking in being like, well, of course it just looks like any other home birth.
It's how we thought.
Yeah. Because I don't get stressed, as you
Yeah.
probably know. If I'm stressed,
No.
then no. Like
Yeah.
if there's an inkling of bad vibes, which I had two births around your time as well.
Yeah.
I had vibes for both of them, and thank God I did because I transferred them in and it was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I don't get stressed. A stress, if I'm stressed about birth, there's something, and I might not know what it is.
Yeah.
I just know there's something, and yeah,
You
I was
just you
like,
just try and like hone in on it kind of thing and be like, what is it?
what is
Yeah.
what's the environment? What's it telling me?
Yeah.
What's the woman like? I know these people. Luckily, e-
Yeah.
I get to know people quite quickly, as you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, well, yeah, of course, it just looks like another home birth in a vagina. It doesn't. It's not going to look like any other environment. But yeah, it was beautiful. The boys were still in bed.
No, it's so
Your mum was there.
yeah. It's like when I try to describe it to people, it's just like opposite spectrums, isn't it? It's like so ordinary, yet like extraordinary
Yeah,
because something totally different's happening. It's like wild but so calm. It's really hard to like
put into words.
put it into words or one word,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Did your labour feel different than it did with your VBAC? Because it was
S-
great. I was meant to ask you this and I forgot.
So there was so like on one hand, yeah, like because so with head down. Baby. So number two, I gave birth in the water. So that actually just felt a little bit um like almost a bit more relaxing, allowing my body to sort of really like,
Yeah,
relax and just literally just my uterus do its thing. And then obviously with this one, as we know, I got out the pool, didn't I? So I went in the pool for about so yeah, so I think for context, you arrived around 8, didn't you?
yeah,
And my mum was already there. You arrived, the two of you arrived around 8. The boys woke up around 8, had their breakfast. They all went out at 9. And then I started to struggle a little bit about, I'd say maybe about half 9, 9, something like that, didn't I? And then I got in the pool, just to sort of
yeah,
yeah, relax back into it. But then I got out the pool, didn't I, towards the end? And that end bit, in comparison to when it was head down in the pool, was harder from the perspective of my body, like my literally my like limbs, because I had to sort of stand up and
yeah,
using that. So it meant like a lot of energy was going to that as opposed to just my uterus.
yeah.
Yeah. Whereas it was on one hand more relaxing than the pool to just try and really let go. Um, but in terms of like the time and the speed, the breech birth was actually easier, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like looking back, not in the moment, because in the moment, like time is just so warped, isn't it? But in like looking back, it was much easier than the head down birth. And a lot of people say to me, like, oh, did it hurt a lot more? It's just like, it actually didn't.
I
Like on one hand, it was just easier. Like if
think it's because you were. Because Key said, "Oh, this is like deja vu."
Yeah.
When he got in the pool, he was like, "Oh yeah, this is just like last time." So from a person watching you labour 3 times,
Yeah.
and compared to how you feel, it's like a completely different story. But
Yeah.
I know he felt more relaxed
Yeah.
than he did with your VBAC.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why you felt more relaxed.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So you both in
Well, the environment was just more relaxing, full stop. Like you two were just chilled. Do you know what I mean? You weren't on my case and telling me like how many bloody risks there are on a massive list or anything like that. You were like,
A birth
and
is environmental. There's just no two ways about it.
yeah, massive. And I was saying that to a lot of people because sometimes you might not even realize it. Like I said the environment was not stressful whatsoever, but there was still things happening. So whenever I was thinking about like, I don't know, maybe the boys wondering what they were having. I know they were asking for more sausages or
Yeah,
going past or whatever it is, like as soon as I'm thinking, it's like, your adrenaline starts to go, even though it's not stressful, but just the thinking, and it'd make the next couple of contractions harder. So it was just so having to like just zone out. And because the environment was more relaxing than my second one, and it was to a degree like we've done birth before, like a vaginal birth, it was easier and more calmer.
yeah,
So from that perspective, he was calmer, I was calmer, it was easier, and maybe that's why it progressed faster as well.
yeah. There's a lot of oxytocin.
Yeah, exactly.
What time? I know the birth story is on my Instagram, but this is your perception.
Yeah.
When I write a birth story, people think it's my perception. This is like so
Yeah.
completely different. When you got out the pool, because we'd had a conversation before about birthing in the pool, and I was honest, and I was like, I don't feel comfortable. I haven't done enough of them. Really sorry, but no, but happy for you to labour in the pool.
Yeah.
You weren't comfortable in the pool. I
Yeah, no, I wasn't. No.
I think that
Yeah. Yeah.
visualization and you
Yeah.
kind of knew it wasn't the right place for you to be.
Yeah.
So
And
that,
that took a bit of work
yeah,
before the birth for me because I was like, as you know, like I've like literally always been so fearful of birth, like ev
yeah,
forever. Like I had the mentality that C-section is safer than like vaginal birth. I would love the thought of pregnancy, but the thought of giving birth just freaked the hell out of me. I couldn't even hear like my friends telling stories. I was like, oh no. So then I got to the point where obviously where when to have kids and got my head around birth, but if I felt safer in the water. I
yeah,
felt like, okay, that, I know you tear less, it seems a bit more comfortable. So for me, it's like I could do birth in water. So I thought this third birth was going to be in water. But then as soon as it's like the breech presentation came up, you said what you said. I learned a bit more about just a bit more gravity and all the positionings and, all the course on Breech Without Borders. So all of that stuff made sense to give birth out of water, but it was against my comfort zone,
yeah,
of what I know at birth. So that definitely took a lot of work and a lot of visualizations in that last couple of weeks. Like just, yeah, walking, whenever I was walking, I was visualizing it, going to bed, visualizing it when I was downstairs, like on the ball, where I was going to like, where I was going to set myself up to be comfortable to give birth. And yeah, that took a lot of like mental work, but then I felt ready for it. I felt
yeah.
ready for
So,
the moment because I even said to you, if it comes quick and you have to drag me out, you've got my permission. Just scoot me
when I,
out.
when I said I think it's time to get out of the pool, you were like, yeah, it is. It's like
Yeah,
you were fine to get out, so it wasn't like, oh,
yeah,
really, do I have to? So
yeah,
that just goes to show the power of visualization, that
yeah.
because you'd spent so much time visualizing, you had to be in the space that you visualized, which we then had to get ready for you.
Yeah, because
So,
do you remember? It's like not that cushion, that
oh,
cushion. Back
no,
to my
not that.
contraction.
Yeah. But that's the power of the mind,
Yeah,
right?
massively.
That's what I
Yeah,
mean. There's so many things to unfold, not in your birth alone, but others
yeah,
that like you put that in place before because you
yeah,
knew that you needed to,
yeah,
but it was so strong in your mind that was the only
Yeah.
place you were going to have your baby.
Yeah, exactly. Literally the only place with the only like my little like obviously the boys have got like all these little playthings. What do you call it? Like mats and things like that. And I knew the right height for things like that.
Yeah.
I knew that there'd be space for you all at the back. Because I wasn't sure if it was going to be two of you or like an army of you at one point
Yeah.
where we were laughing like
I know everybody's
everyone's going to
gonna
come. Yeah.
say.
So I was just like, there's enough space. Yeah, it's just mad. And I think part of it is going through it on your head, like your mind is so powerful, it gives you confidence. So you've done it. You've done it 1,000 times in your head. So you're like, I've got this. But second, in the moment as well, you're not having to think. So back to that, like, you're using your thinking brain a little bit less and just trying to preserve it for what's really necessary. So that also helps.
Yeah, because it
Um,
reduces the adrenaline.
yeah, exactly.
You haven't got to think. So again, it's back to prep. When,
Yeah.
so do you know, like, because obviously we know when baby dropped because you literally
Balls 11:11.
did your feet off the floor, and I think that was
Yeah.
a massive him just being like, because I saw a foot so many
Yeah.
times,
Yeah. It's mad, isn't it?
a heel, like, but
Yeah.
if I didn't know it was breech, I would have thought it was a hand. I didn't tell you this.
Right.
I would have thought
Yeah.
it was like the palm of a
Just
hand
that bit.
so many times before.
Yeah.
But interestingly, so many hands do not move.
Really?
Uh,
What, in breach or
no,
in head
in
first?
head first, so many hands don't move, and it's like a bit of a restriction. But feet do.
There we go. Now you know
When
that.
I kept seeing a heel,
Yeah.
in my head, I'm thinking, yeah, he doesn't want to birth a foot first.
No.
And
And also, like we knew from the scans and from all your palpitations anyway, his feet weren't up here. What's that one called? I forgot that.
that's Frank.
Frank,
Yes,
it was never up there.
yeah,
His feet were always down somewhere,
yeah.
weren't
So
they? Yeah, but
potential
he
going to be a
came out like that. Yeah.
um. So yeah, I think that foot being in the way is what was preventing him from coming down.
Maybe coming down.
And then the foot obviously moved, and that's when, because I was like, do you want to get up? And we weren't even telling you what positions to put yourself in. I don't know if you realize that. You were just
Yeah. Well, I remember once, I think one of maybe said, "Do you want to get up?" or something, but it was like it wasn't it was like a good amount of like support. Like, do you know what I mean? Like you could see from a different angle. You
yeah,
were saying like maybe like, maybe try and then like maybe slightly different on the breathing, like more like the power down. But my, like you said, my body was also just like moving
yeah,
wherever it needed
wherever
to.
it needed.
Yeah.
Um, and then obviously you stood up. And
Yeah. And then I think I remember having the gas and air though. Sometimes I was taking it, but not because I felt like they're obviously really intense, the contractions, aren't they? But it was more to just calm that brain,
yeah,
like just really like just try and switch off and relax my limbs as much as possible. And I remember taking that. So as soon as I was doing that, I felt like yeah, your body just kind of goes into whatever shape it needs to.
remember asking me, "Are we on the clock?"
Yeah.
I don't tell the time. I can't tell the time. It's like,
I know.
so that
Yeah.
these little seeds of doubt that people put
Yeah.
in your head. It's like,
Yeah.
what clock? I can't
Yeah.
find.
Yeah, I know.
I did.
And well that also came from because I remember you saying and then I said like but the Breach Without Borders videos are much shorter than this and you're like yeah but they don't show the build up. And then it's like and then as soon as you explain baby's not like fully like engaged like coming
Yeah,
out then in my head I was just like okay so that clock of like from the because it's the umbilical cord isn't it so like for context if anybody like need support with like having a breech birth is from correct me if I'm wrong because obviously you're the midwife but it's the cord as soon as you got your cord coming down and compressed that's when the clock almost sort of
yeah.
starts you want the movement to just keep going doesn't it
You want to
and
see things happening. That's it.
yeah
Yeah.
and that's when my head was just like are we there yet like because I couldn't tell I know he's somewhere in the canal but I couldn't actually tell where like it's so difficult, I feel, to tell whether the canal's like that big, that big, or where on earth it
Well,
is.
and because it was a soft prominence, you wouldn't have felt that big.
Yeah, well, but
Yeah.
yeah, with it compared with a head, I remember thinking the same as well. I couldn't tell where his head was at that point. Like, are we close? Are we like really like out?
Uh,
I personally just wasn't sure. I know it's there somewhere, but I'm not sure whereabouts in the
where,
tunnel. Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
as soon as you said it's not, and then when you said it is, then yeah, everything just went so fast, didn't
Oh,
it?
so
Like,
quick. Like,
yeah,
well, 11:11, Make a Wish was I
I
love
love it.
did that as well.
And at that point, I was just like, please be born in the next 60 seconds because that's the most amazing. I love like the time. And yeah, that actually gave me loads of strength as well. I'm like, come on.
Because there were so many, which we'll talk about just before we go. There were so many spiritual things that happened before birth along the way that we just felt it was meant to be,
Yeah,
which I love because people don't hone into that side of themselves. And I'm
yeah,
a woo, but I'm not too much of a woo. I'm 50-50. But it was definitely spiritual. Um,
yeah.
and then obviously you guys didn't know what you were having.
No.
Um, tell me the thing that you read about Maui.
Yeah, about breech births. They come from what was it like is a spiritual sign that they're going to it was the spirits have sent basically baby, haven't they? They're
Yeah,
like, yeah, that's what they one of the traditions I believe, and we're like, yes.
yeah, and because obviously Q lost his brother, we were just like I said all along it's going to be a boy,
Yeah,
because it just felt like a boy, and
I
then
know.
that aligned. So when you,
Exactly. And our initials for baby were BB, and then we're like breech baby, everything. I just felt like so many dates were aligning with like, our loved ones that, yeah, are not here anymore.
yeah,
We're like, it's just, yeah. And like, but like you said, you don't know, is that it? Because you're going through a moment of like, it's really difficult period where you've got a life responsible, hanging over your head and you kind of just look for something for reassurance. But
yeah,
like I said, if I was to say like if I was to write my birth story, I'd say like yeah, the spirits wrote my birth script. But
yeah.
really, logic did prevail because like even if you take that aside or don't believe in it, it was like logic of why it was fine and why it'll be safe. It's just there. Like you just need to do like the research, isn't it?
I think you're in such a vulnerable state, and vulnerability is beautiful. People see it as a weakness, and it's not. So when you're in a vulnerable state and you can hone into it, and you've got such a supportive village around you, you can hone on to the spiritual things and think that's why it's happening, and faith,
Yeah,
and all of that, which is
it's meant to be.
it's beautiful. Like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And obviously, I knew what you have. I knew what you had before you did.
Because he
Never
peed
had
all
the full
over you.
shot, and a little woman just had all over my face. I
Yeah,
remember looking at Key saying, "I don't need to tell you what's
I
happening."
know.
He's like,
Yeah.
mountain, and then the rat he just flopped out. There's like
Yeah.
he did the whole because if you watch Breach videos, which I'm hoping one day we'll share yours.
Yeah.
So I remember talking you what
Yeah.
you watch the Breach Without Borders videos,
Yeah.
the training, and Breech babies come out transverse. They don't come out in a dead straight line. So we had to watch all of that. He had the creases in the chest, which shows that he's bringing his knees up and
Yeah.
squinching. Um, and then
And the
obviously,
little arms. Oh
yeah,
yeah, and then the no. Yeah.
and then the nose come out, and he did a little cough, which was literally the
The
last
last bar.
bit.
And then you literally, because I'd watched it, I was saying to baby like, come on, like next bit, next bit, next bit. But it felt like such a good team because you were telling me, you were saying what I needed to hear, and I'm like, right, we've moved on to the next bit, So just literally just trying to hone in on all of that.
it was such a learning experience because we spent such a short space of time together, like 4 or 5 weeks. But not, and I don't just mean because the baby was breech, but for me, what I took away from it is obviously it was so aligned with, same initials and all of that.
Yeah.
Um, but it was you and Key. Like
Yeah.
I think that, and I said that all along. It was you're not brother and sister. They're not brother and sister by
For the record.
the line. There's like, I know
Yeah.
you've got your differences, and
Yeah. But it's good team, isn't it?
it is, and I think it would have been a different outcome. I don't. That's why I'm always like, I'm not God. I'm not this miracle worker that creates dreams for
I
people.
don't think you give yourself enough credit.
I'm a bystander, but I get I'm very lucky that I get to watch partners either come together and do a life-changing thing, or
Yeah.
it can actually pull them apart if they're not on board.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you do. It's such a like it's mental, isn't it, birth, that you definitely want to be aligned and without because the birth partner is so important and so crucial for the success or the detriment. But you kind of I feel like they have to give priority to the woman who's given birth, and that is they need to respect those wishes the most. Do you know what I mean? So
when-
you really need someone to step up and be like, even if it's totally opposite to what they would have wanted, be like, okay, it's her body.
and it's not like I'm
Do
not
this. I
happy
could do
about
it.
it, but I'll
Yeah.
support you. No, that's really bull.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
that's life. That one statement's life changing. So any birth partners listening, hand on
Don't
heart,
say that.
if you're not on board, get on board.
Get on board. Yeah. What do you need to do to get on board? Do you need more confidence? Do you need to research? Do you need to do a course? Whatever it is, get on board. Yeah.
Don't be the person in the room that wish that you hadn't said the wish that you hadn't said yes, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. But I still think you play such a crucial role because I don't, even though we were so on board, I did get to the point where I said to Kieran, I said, if you don't turn up, you just need to get a mirror behind me.
Yeah.
So that I could see
Fine.
where we're at on it. So
Yeah.
I would have still probably picked that over going to the hospital. But you being there just made the difference because like we were then comfortable, we were confident, and then that all is like conducive to actually succeeding in that oxytocin. So I do think I do think you're amazing as we do. And you play such a crucial role. It's a team effort, isn't it? It has to be like so.
It is
Yeah,
an effort, but
massively.
couples like you make my job very easy.
Enjoyable, hopefully.
Yeah. Before I ask you the three questions that you've already got, is there anything about your birth that you'll change for next time?
Um, Apart from hiring you straight away,
Oh,
like, and yeah, and that's one thing. Like, we always knew it. We always knew the value of independent midwife, and like, we had this conversation. It's obviously, it's more the cost. You got, you got to make a living anyway, so it's not that, but it's an expensive
it
thing.
is.
Yeah, that it's you. If you could just do it easily, you would, but it's annoying that we have to pay for this in the sense of like we should all have people like you in the system constantly. And it should just be able to be everybody have that. And I remember we thought, wow, no, it's so important, but everything was going so okay for us to be supported in the home birth. But yeah, I kind of overlooked the fact, okay, but something could change very late minute, and that made it really stressful, that last part
Yeah.
of like rechecking your options so late in the game and figuring things out that what I would, yeah, I would definitely just change it in the sense of like you don't know how it's going to go, so just get on board,
Get on board.
figure out your finances from day one.
Uh,
Yeah.
I did. I spoke to two ladies over the last 4 or 5 days, and they've decided not to book. And I'm like, I can't. I'm. When I say I'm done with it, I don't mean I'm done with it in an angry way. I'm like, I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, other than me saying you're going to regret it because I sound really egotistical,
I know.
it's not that. It's like
It's not.
I've heard your stories. I've heard the trauma you've gone through. I can tell this is the thing that you want most in life, whatever's making you say no,
Yeah,
you just need to switch that noise off in your head.
into it.
Even if it's not me, and find another I am.
Yeah,
You contacted me for a reason.
I know.
I'm just like, ah,
Yeah. When we thought it was an option, and IM was an option because we thought it was too late and we didn't know anybody. Like around here, I'd Googled and couldn't find anything. So we thought it was not an option. So at
yeah,
that point, we were obviously like researching going to like Birmingham Hospital, everything, like Kingston.
yeah,
But as soon as it became an option, it
like,
was almost a case of like, now there is literally no other options but that. Like
yeah,
exactly like you say, you will regret it and you know that you will not have the birth that you want if you don't go with it. So are you willing to like, are you
yeah.
willing to like sacrifice that
No, it's hard,
versus
isn't it?
yeah, exactly, hard grit of figuring out your finances? It's like, yeah, you're not. So
It's the one time you shouldn't be a grown up.
yeah.
Hating for my kids to have IMs if they don't want them.
Oh my God, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Right, your three questions. The first one, what would you go back and tell your younger self if you could? What?
I'd keep a birth related with this one, and I'd say don't be so fearful of birth
Ooh, I love
because yeah, because I used to be so yeah so fearful, and it's just nothing to be feared. Is so normal, and my first birth would have been so much different had I known that. And I would have just researched it a lot more. Like I just went into it relatively blindly, in comparison to what I know. But yeah, it's not scary. It's not like how they make it out in
that.
movies and all these society. Well, it doesn't have to be
No,
like it.
yeah,
There is plenty of scary stories and trauma and fears. There is, but it doesn't have to be.
no, it isn't.
Yeah,
You've got a plan for war for 24 hours, whatever it takes. You're digging deep and you're
exactly.
going to birth with your warhead on, not
Literally.
full, but just to do whatever it takes.
Yeah. It's your marathon, isn't it? Your war, whatever it is hard, but it's yeah, it's all right.
Love that. What's a podcast, a book, a movie, a song that you think everyone should listen to or read?
Can I say two? One of them, I've actually got it here. One of them is a book which I read on my first one. I'm going to read it again. Kieran's reading it now. Is the book you wish your parents had read, which I do think I don't sponsor it. I just obviously just have it here.
Book you wish your parents had read. Who's it by?
It's by Philippa Perry.
Okay.
It's
And
really good. Like, and I'd recommend it if you got kids or no kids,
yeah,
because it's sort of like it just taps into some of the things that our parents would have done,
yeah,
and we don't even realize this sort of shaped us and why we do certain things. And it's kind of like
yeah,
undoes some of it. Just I think it helps you grow, and definitely helps you grow as a like parenting. Like the amount of things that we sort of tweaked and be like, oh my God, that's I love my mum, I love my dad, they're
yeah.
brilliant.
It's
But
not
there's just things that you
yeah,
think, yeah, do you know what? I might, yeah, do it a little bit different. So I'd say that.
yeah.
But can I say another one, which is
Go
for
on then.
Breech,
Yeah.
which is Mary Cronk's how does she describe it?
Go on.
Breech presentation is normal, but
Are you on about
what
the
is it?
kitchen door? The
Oh
kitchen.
yeah, no, yeah, she says that one. Where did I write it? Hang on. Breech is normal but unusual. There you go. Yeah.
I love
So
that.
like anybody like having a breech birth, like they could hopefully, yeah, just not freak out about it.
Yeah.
Unusual but normal.
And breathe. I love that.
Yeah.
What's not the, but a defining moment in your life that shaped you as a person in some kind of way?
That would be when on my second pregnancy, when we did the KGH hypnobirthing parents course,
Yeah.
because that was just an eye opener to be like what birth could be like. Yeah, I was just like, the thought of a home birth before, I'm like, yeah, get out of here, no way. And I read that, I'm like, oh my God. Like there's just no option, but we are doing home birth. And yeah, that was just that transformative massively.
Yeah, because you're both birth geeks.
Yeah, yeah, we are now.
Most of my clients end up birth geeks. I love it. It's because
Yeah,
think about it. Why would you delve into booking an independent midwife and or a doula if it's not on the
yeah,
uh, forefront of your mind anyway, kind of thing.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
you know it's the best thing, isn't it? So
it
you
is.
just would.
Well, thank you, Superwoman.
Ah, and you.
Power is Breech, remember. Everyone's got a superpower. Yours
Yeah,
Breech birth.
massively.
And I can't wait to come and watch you birth 4 and 5.
Oh, yeah, probably gonna get twins, aren't we, if you were to go again? Just a new,
And
just a new
oh,
level, isn't it? Of try this now.
I
Okay.
love it. Yeah, and
Mm.
then let me know one day when we can share your video because it was it's a textbook. That's
No.
good. It is. There was nothing.
And the celebration, because I think if I was to ever share, like I said, I'd split it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But like for like I just love it, like the celebration. There's me like breaking down crying as if like, like footballer winning a cup or what was this golfer name? The Rory McIlroy
Yeah,
finally winning. Like that's me.
I love that.
Kieran like crying. You're like fucking yes. I love
Like,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I loved
It's
it.
just brilliant. It was so good.
I loved it. Thank you so much for having me. It was
Oh, thank you.
experience definitely up there with a career highlight.
Oh, that's so good.
I'll see you soon.
Yeah, it was lush speaking to you.
Bye, lovely. Thanks.
See ya. Bye.
Bye bye.